Hi everyone, it's Sam from Being a President, and this is my first ever video for the actual organization. Uh, my first kind of talk is going to be about orientation, my reflection of it, what could be improved, just things like that. This is a disclaimer just to anybody. I understand this is a very new program. I just would like to offer my opinions on it, how it could be improved for next year, and what they did really good. So that's just kind of for all the skeptics out there. So let's get into it. Overall, I thought orientation was entertaining and informative, but it was very disorganized. That's my big nitpick. And I'm going to kind of go through the things that I enjoyed first, and then I'm going to get into what I think could be improved for next year. Starting off, there were a lot of entertaining and cool events that they did during orientation. For instance, Playfair. Playfair was really cool. It didn't exactly accomplish its intended purpose of trying to, get as many people to meet as many people as possible. But it was really cool just to kind of do a bunch of group icebreakers in a really large group and stuff. Possibly next year, if it could be outside or at least in a cooler place and in a place where sound isn't so hectic and you can actually hear what the man on stage is saying. Overall, though, I thought it was really fun. It did get me to meet a few new people, but it was just kind of a fun way to spend the evening mostly. Another thing was the magic show with Mick Vigard, the Trickster. He was really cool. I had never been to a college age magic show before, but it was pretty cool. He was hilarious. He did some weird stuff, but it was really good. It was definitely a good magic show. I'm still kind of mind blown by his last act. So if you got to see that, I'm with you. It was pretty awesome. The football scrimmage, from what I heard, was really cool. I didn't actually get to go whenever we did that, but a lot of my friends said it was really cool, just a kind of way to support, the school and everything. So I'm glad that they actually included that in the orientation schedule. Day of service is an awesome, awesome idea. I personally went down to the City Mission, which, if you don't know, is a homeless shelter in the area that is actually like church run from the Washington Presbytery, and it was awesome. Just any kind of volunteer service opportunity should be incorporated in just everyday life, but not only that, like these specific times, orientation, just any kind of camp or anything, there should always be an aspect of service, of you giving back to the community. And especially as the incoming class, I think we need to have that instilled in us whenever we move forward in our years here. Some honorable mentions: matriculation was pretty cool. I like all the ceremonies and the mace. That was pretty awesome. All the picnics, free food is wonderful anytime. The movie nights, one on Burnett Lawn. I had never seen The Amazing Spider-Man, so good stuff. The Hub Open House was really cool. Free pizza. All three pizza places were awesome. My vote goes to North Star, but don't worry about my opinion. And then meeting with the president was always really cool. She's really cool. THS is awesome. Her words have always kind of, inspired. It should, anyways, inspire you and everything. So that was good. And then the farmer's market is always a good time. The slushies are fantastic. Plus, you can get apples and stuff at a really cheap price or for free. So, yeah, that was kind of the entertaining and cool parts of orientation that I thought were pretty good. Moving on to the very informative parts of orientation. The RA Link Advisor and Faculty Advisor systems that are set up is awesome. It's a great way to make sure students have some kind of support as they make this transition, and I know it really helped me. I know it really helped a few of my friends. It's just a really good way to see how people actually are in the school, and if there's help, just knowing that it's there, even if you don't need it, is awesome. They all had great introductions and are wonderful resources to the students, but things with that were a bit disorganized, but I'll get back to that later. The Magellan panel I have no words. I'm so pumped for Magellan. I really want to do one or two now, and going into that, I wasn't sure exactly how much I could do personally because I'm a science physics major, and now I'm reassured that I can do anything that I want to do, and it's really cool. Anybody who missed it should hit up anybody who has done a Magellan or is planning a Magellan and just kind of talk to them for a little bit, because you will definitely not be disappointed with what you hear. The student panel was informative to a point. A lot of it we had heard before, but the specific questions that some of the students were asking definitely were informative. For instance, I didn't actually realize that you could be an RA and in a fraternity at the same time. So, just kind of a fun fact there. But it was a lot of repetition, kind of things like that from what we had heard, and our acceptance, like the barbecues, in the overnights, any kind of visit that you do to campus, it kind of was there as well. But it was informative, and it was very good for a freshman way to talk to upperclassmen. Okay, this part is on what I think could be done better for next time. And I go into specific detail here and offer suggestions, just to kind of show I'm not just complaining about things. I would just, some things just kind of needed to be addressed by somebody. The RA and Link group meetings that were scheduled, at least mine, and from what I heard, some of the others, didn't really totally have a purpose, every single one, or at least the purpose for them was not made clear to the RAs and Links, which is a big problem. It's really off-putting to see so much disorganization, because like our Link advisor would just kind of text us and be like, hey, we're having this meeting, I'm not exactly sure what we're going to be doing yet, but we'll do something. And props to the RAs and Links who effectively made up good things to do during the meetings whenever they were just kind of left in the dark. So good on ya, it's not your fault. What could be done is just better communication skills from the people who are kind of like on the higher tier of planning, right down to the actual Link groups and everything, and possibly just better organization throughout the schedule of the night as well, the nights of orientation as well. Just making things a bit more clear as we go into orientation, not just trying to throw things together while it's happening. Another thing was the majors and minors info session. I really didn't want to go in there and pick up just a bunch of papers. There were some students that we could talk to. That was good and stuff. But I was expecting, I don't know, I was just expecting it to be a bit different next time, maybe having it whenever it starts, having actual, like, a student there from every single major, at least trying to. Obviously, you're not going to get everyone, but there was hardly any there. And for the majors that are really popular, have enough handouts printed so that you can have them easily distributed, like right there, if you're going to go the handout route, which kind of happened with bio and everything. They ended up running out after like the first 15 minutes. So yeah, just kind of needed to be cleaned up, a little bit more organized, see who could, if you could actually get some more students in there. Those are my suggestions. But it was kind of informative with all the, the information that was on the sheets and everything. It was very informative and helpful, just kind of also seeing what is available to you. So it wasn't all bad. The Myths and Legends at W&J haunted tour thing that was supposed to happen, I don't know how to describe what happened besides disorganized. We went first off, we were supposed to meet at a certain place, and then nobody met. And then our RA actually found us, and he took us to where we were supposed to go. And the person who was supposed to read something was just kind of like, hey, my story is not even a scary story, so I'm not sure why I'm reading it. And we just kind of stood there and deliberated what was going on for a good 5-10 minutes, and we decided we were going to go down to the dance party. So I just don't know what was supposed to happen. I don't know if that was just me. I talked to other students. They said they had a similar experience or didn't just go, so maybe something to reconsider for next year. I'm not sure. Honorable mentions. for this one would be the morning workouts. It's just kind of a weird concept to me anyways. Again, I didn't go to any. I don't have any friends who went to any. I'm not sure how they went, if they went. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Possibly something to think about, just kind of removing. The Community Partners Expo should have been more explained and advertised. When we went there, it was me and my friend, and I had no idea that it was actually going to be like volunteer opportunities is what it was. I thought it was just kind of whatever companies were partnered with the school at W&J would just come and kind of talk. But it was so many volunteer opportunities, so many things that people like needed help with, and it needed to be a lot more advertised and explained so that more students would have went to it, because I don't think they got a lot of attention. They were kind of secluded in front of the commons there, so all except for the Humane Society. So I would just next year have it again, but just give it a little bit more explanation in the actual packet, and then maybe move it somewhere more open where people would see it, and just kind of drive more people towards it, because it's definitely for good causes. Late night and G&T's dance and rave. The rave was kind of a big fail. I walked in there and there were only like 5 people dancing. And then the late night and G&T's, I know I've heard a lot of people, I did go there, I didn't think it was that bad, but I know I've heard a lot of people complaining about the DJ and how the upperclassmen should have been able to choose a better DJ or something. I don't know how I feel exactly about that statement per se, but maybe not doing something that's kind of just like a high school dance party type thing would be a good idea. So there are better ways, like, I don't know, board games or something that you can get people together with and stuff, and actually not lying about having pizza there or whatever, because I was told by multiple sources that there would be pizza and there was none. So a little bit salty over that. And then the last thing was the faculty panel. I didn't go to that either. I heard mixed reactions from it. It was just kind of another thing that you just kind of heard people talking about the liberal arts education and how good it is. And that's what I've got from people's comments on that. So that's my suggestions and my thoughts on orientation. Overall, it was really good, but it could have just been a bit more organized. If that organization was there, it would have been absolutely, totally perfect and fantastic. A few things here and there just to keep in mind for next year, whoever that may be. Maybe I'll be helping out, trying to, with the Gateway team and stuff. But it was good for me, and I just kind of wanted to reflect upon it a little bit for my first issue. If you have any questions or comments, want to talk about anything, just comment below, and I'll try to get to those. Otherwise, thank you for watching. I will see you soon.